What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Two guys, one mic. Flying two guys this week. Unfortunately, Mike has a lot of family things going on. Our thoughts and prayers are with Mike and his family right now with this tough time that he's got going on.
We love you, bro. We hope everything is, gets better, and we're here for you. And prayers always, bro.
That's right, and obviously take as much time as you need, but we'll try to keep plugging on though.
I think we can at least talk. I think that's our that's our strong suit.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll try to bring in a special guest next week or something.
Yeah,
gets a little something going. But this week, man, I guess week 10 is the week of surprises. The week of last minute heroics by kickers. This is the week of the kicker this week, man.
Yeah.
What was it? 5 games decided by a field goal at the last couple seconds.
It was crazy. A couple of the games too. I mean, one that comes to mind is it was the Bills.
It was
the Bills game. Yeah.
Okay. I honestly didn't see much of the Bills game. I don't know what was going on.
Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. Monday. No, it was Tuesday night. I don't know what's going on. I could have just been dead tired and just didn't feel like watching it because I thought the Bills were going to destroy them.
It was an interesting call because now that I'm like kind of getting more of my memory back, they ran a play. They didn't have to run a play, but they ran a play.
Too many men on the field. Buffalo had too many men on the field.
Because there was 12 men on the field.
Yep.
And they got called for it because they missed it. But they had to, the field goal unit had to run out because they had this play. And they didn't get any yards. They lined it up basically. And the team had to run out. And they had enough time. But there was it was ticking down. Mm-hmm. And they kicked the field goal, missed it. But then Buffalo had too many guys on the field.
Yes, and they got a re-kick. And they kicked it from 36 yards.
So my thinking is for Buffalo, I felt like they lost this game themselves, right?
Right.
I think the Broncos have won 3 straight against really, really good teams, all 3 of them.
Yep.
Starting off with the Packers, but
great team.
But I feel like they're kind of kicking themselves instead of, their defense was. I felt like they played decent, but their offense couldn't get anything.
Yeah. So interesting about the Bills, I've heard a few different things recently. Now, we're located in central, upstate, whatever you want to call it, New York.
Bills territory.
We're kind of the hub. We got Bills, Giants, and that sprinkle of Jets.
And then everything else, too.
And so we hear a lot about the Bills when they're doing good. When they're not doing good, it's a strong Giants area. When they're both not doing good, it's nobody watches football, But so for the past how many years? Josh been in the league 3-4 years now.
Yeah, he's been there for a while, but at least the past 3-4 years.
Yeah, it's been Josh Allen is a savior. Josh Allen is amazing. The Bills are Super Bowl bound. We're gonna get there. And they got the AFC championship game and it failed.
Yeah.
Right. So. There are the things that I'm starting to hear now, which just drives me nuts, is how quickly people have turned on Josh Allen, especially around here. And now people are coming out and saying, I've always said all along that you're never going to win with Josh Allen. I beg to differ. A couple of years ago, you were saying, oh, he's great. He's probably top 3 quarterback in the league. Yeah. Which, let's be honest, he probably still is top 3 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, at least top 5, right?
Majority of the, other than Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, probably at this point, Hurts.
Yeah, I would say Hurts, maybe Justin Herbert.
You're not going to be like, oh, I wouldn't take Allen over I would take Allen over Pickett in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Love, sure.
There's a whole, Love. There's just a whole bunch of teams, and all these people oh, I told you that Buffalo's never going to win everything. When just a few years ago they were saying Buffalo's going to win it all.
Right,
It's a quick turnaround. The other thing, and that's just from our local people, I've heard that I bring that up with. It's just that, but the national media, I forget which one it was, but somewhere on the national media, somebody was saying that they think there's just too high of expectation and too much pressure on Buffalo, and now they're starting to crumble due to they're expected to win, they're expected to be there. Josh Allen is supposed to be this amazing quarterback that's going to get them to the promised land,
right?
And just the stress and the pressure of all of the weight of Buffalo. Because let's be honest, Buffalo's been waiting for something for a long, long time.
For sure, yeah.
For that, those expectations to be sitting on them is just becoming too much for the team.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely could be huge. I mean, right? We talk about their run game's bad. Well, they have James Cook now, who's a pretty decent running back. Obviously, I don't think he's the star running back by any means, but I feel like he's pretty good. They have good receivers. They have one of the best receivers, and then a healthy, receiving crew, and then a pretty decent tight end coming up from his rookie year. Kincaid.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there is that pressure for sure, and I feel like when you're in New York, no matter where you are, obviously New York, the Giants and the Jets always get that media, but Bills, I feel like it's almost the same.
Yeah. When they're doing good and people are loving Bills, you'll often hear, they're the only New York team.
Yeah.
Well, they start playing bad, and then it's like, well, we always got the Giants and the Jets too.
Yeah.
The Giants are not anything good this year, but the Jets and the Bills they're pretty clever. Was it 5-5 and 4-5?
4-6.
4-6.
Yeah.
4-6. Yeah, that's probably right. So they're like right there. And the crazy thing is, one of my lacrosse players, he's a diehard Jets fan. He said to me today, if the Jets, I think if they win this week, and then they beat the Bills next week, they'll be in the lead of the division.
Really?
Of the AFC East. They'll be leading the AFC East.
Did you mean the Dolphins? You mean the Dolphins?
No,
because
the Jets.
They're playing.
But I think the Dolphins have to lose too.
Yeah, because the Dolphins or the Jets are playing the Bills this week. Yeah. I know that because Josh Allen is. So
maybe it's if they beat the Bills this week and the Dolphins lose, and then I don't know, somehow it was like they're not far off.
You know what? Actually, next week the Jets are playing the Dolphins. Okay. Because my brother-in-law wanted to go to that game. So if they win both, I think what he's saying
that's what it is. Yeah, that might be what it is. Yes, it's just crazy to me that the Jets are actually still in but that's football this year. That legitimately is the football this year. Is we've been saying this for a couple weeks. There is no runaway, clear cut. I mean, even the Eagles with one loss don't feel like they're running away and clear cut.
No, and nobody's going, oh man, this is the Eagles to lose. It's like, are they the same team as last year? Not really. Right. I 100% feel this year is going to be like one of those teams where maybe the fourth seed or the wild card comes out and just somehow gets on a hot streak, and the Steelers, they all of a sudden they play, they click on the offense, and then all of a sudden, boom,
That's 100% agree with you on that one. This year, more than any other year, feels like who's going to be hot going into the playoffs.
Right.
Not who's seeded where. It's who's, like you were saying when Bettis' last year when he retired. The Steelers were a 6th seed. They just got hot at the right time, and they ran it. The Giants, the one year, I think it was the last time they won it.
Yep.
They also were like the 5th or 6th seed.
Yeah.
And they caught hot, and it feels like another year of that year where like you're a number 1 seed. You're not like, they're probably gonna go pretty easy,
right?
And part of that is because you have teams like, for example, the 49ers, who started mega hot, got hurt, which nobody really put all those. I mean, we talked about them being hurt, but all those injuries, they weren't really healthy together. Mm-hmm. And then this past week, they got healthy together, and dude, they're red hot again. I mean, they destroyed the Jaguars.
And Jaguars were considered to be top 5, at least top 5. Some people were putting them at what?
Some people were putting them the first in the AFC.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Some of the social media sites, when they're doing their power rankings, had the Jaguars as number 1 ranked in the AFC.
And it'd be interesting.
And there was somebody, I don't know who it was, but there was somebody who was refuting that point that the Jags and Dolphins shouldn't be as rated as high as they were in that ranking.
However,
that guy looks like a genius right now.
He does, but however, he did pick the Jags to win this game. So
he did. But I mean, you look at it. This week could be the week of surprises. We were talking about it. Just to run down the games real quick. Denver beating Bills was a surprise.
Huge surprise.
Yeah. Who was the other one? I think the Cardinals beating the Falcons was a little bit of a surprise, but you were on the Kyler hype train coming back, and that proved to be big for them. That did prove to be big for them.
Yeah, I mean they just won it by a field goal, right? So they beat them by the field goal.
Yeah,
so it wasn't
beat them by a field goal. 2 points actually.
Oh, 2 points.
They had to kick a field goal. Get down one, had to kick a field goal. Yep. The Chargers going toe to toe with the Lions was.
And Lions end up winning.
A bit of a surprise. Yep. Even the Lions, they're 7-2 right now.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Very sneaky.
The Texans coming back and beating the Bengals, which I gotta be honest, I'm not quite as surprised because I think the Texans are underrated.
Yeah.
I think they're an underrated team.
Yeah, it was. I was a little surprised. Maybe the humbling part of because I feel like everybody was again on that hype train of Cincy coming out and beating all of these teams and doing so well.
And Cincy had a couple injuries they had to deal with, you know. So and speaking about surprises, not only the Texans beating the Bengals, but how well their offense is working right now with Stroud, Dell, and Nico Collins.
Yep.
They're doing great.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk about even having Stroud as an MVP.
I mean, he should be up there.
Yeah.
Especially with being a rookie, learning the playbook as a rookie, the expectation. He's balling out.
He is, and he's got a chance. I don't know if you heard about this yet or not, to get a Super Bowl ring his rookie year.
I mean, is there anything else besides?
Yeah. So, he's from Ohio State.
Okay.
Tom Brady's Michigan. There's a bet going on.
Oh no.
That if Michigan beats Ohio State, Tom Brady, no joke, you got to give me your 40 time, your youth, your all this stuff so I can come play again. And he said if Ohio State beat Michigan, he would give Stroud one of his Super Bowl rings.
No way. There's no way.
So Stroud could walk away with a Super Bowl ring his rookie year.
Do you think that would happen? Do you think he would really do that?
Yeah, he's got 6 of them. He probably doesn't care.
Oh my God.
He's probably like, here, take this one.
Take the random one.
Here, have my Tampa ring. I don't need it.
Right.
But that's another big surprise so far this year.
Ravens was a huge surprise.
Ravens, Browns was a surprise to some.
Because to some. And the Ravens started off hot, man. They came out.
This is what they do. I told you that last year. Last week. This is what the Ravens do every year. They come out so strong in the beginning, and they're talked about one of the best teams in the league, which in the beginning of the year they are. Mm-hmm. But then slowly pieces start to fall. Pieces start to get chipped away. Lamar gets hurt. The running backs 1 through 7 get hurt. Their receivers will start going down. Mark Andrews will get dinged up.
Yeah.
And they'll start to lose games that they shouldn't. And this is one of those games where, even though the Browns have the best defense, and so they should be competing, the Ravens shouldn't have lost that game.
They shouldn't have. With the combination of being just so well-rounded as a team, you would think they would have won that.
You would think, but...
Excuse me.
But they are who I thought they were. The Ravens are just... We'll see. The Ravens are just the Ravens. I mean...
They're what? 7-3 right now, or 6-3?
7-3. They are 7. They are still in the lead of the North. They are 7-3. Pittsburgh 6-3. Cleveland 6-3. Pittsburgh's got the tiebreaker for that because they beat them already.
Right.
And then the Bengals are 5-4.
Yeah.
Currently, all 3 non-leading members of the AFC North are the wild cards.
Jeez. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, what was that meme that you set or you had on Facebook?
I
laughed at that one.
It was the Dolphins? I think it was the Dolphins at 6-3, and it's Tiger Woods all dressed in nice.
Yeah.
And then it was the Steelers at 6-3 as John Daly. Because let's be honest, it's what it is this year. Pittsburgh has been winning ugly, which could be another surprise of the season. Is their record being 6-3?
Yeah.
Because. Every game, all 9 games so far, the Steelers have been outgained total yardage by the opponent.
Which blows my mind, and we were talking about this today because, I give a lot of credit to their defense. Mm-hmm. Obviously their defense has won them multiple of their games. This week, we watched a game together, and it didn't look like their defense was that great. Obviously, they got it done. I mean, our offense didn't look good, but we moved the ball. But man, it was an interesting game.
Yeah. So when we're saying that, their defense didn't do much until it had to.
Right.
Then, end of the game, they got the 2 interceptions.
Yep.
And then the whole scuffle at the end of the game, which was...
Your boy Peterson's actually made a good play.
Yes. That one...
he tipped it in.
He tipped it to Keanu Neal, and then Neal got hurt that. So, just to give everybody a little recap of what happened. All game, we're sitting here, Josh and I are sitting here, I'm having a couple adult beverages, enjoying myself, and every big play seemed to go by number 31, which is Keanu Neal.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm like, dude, what is he doing? Why is he out there? He's not doing anything. It's always him that gives up the big play. And then they tip that pass, and he picks off the interception. And I'm like, yeah, Neal!
Best player!
So, it's very easily, my emotions do get the best of me in games, and they will sway from one to the other. But looking back at that, Neal was just in the right spot at the right time.
Agreed.
That was all on Peterson, who I've also been very critical of.
You have been
all year long.
Very critical, Peterson.
But I read something, and I want to say it was on one of the Steelers fan pages, that when Minka first got hurt, they had to play Peterson at safety for a few plays, and that he looked good as a safety, and that he enjoyed playing safety, and I'm not opposed
to put him out there.
Until Minka gets back.
Yeah.
And have him
he's not
run
as fast,
safety.
right? He's not as fast as he used to be.
No, he's not, but you put him as a free safety where he's roaming in the backfield.
Right. I like it.
And clearly he can still make some plays. He can tip the ball, as long as he's not trying to jam somebody and run with them.
Right.
He has those yards of cushion that he can work with, or he's playing over the top of somebody in a cover 2 or something like that.
Right, he can be able
to. He's still a good center fielder.
Yeah. So my question to you, the big controversial situation, are the refs fixing games? Because, I have to bring it up. It was probably one of the most crucial parts of the game when Kenny Pickett decided to throw it about 8 yards backwards, and they called it.
Listen, we went over this when it happened. I personally, to the naked eye, when we were watching it,
he didn't have his glasses on.
I was like...
and he was drinking, like you said, adult beverages.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is he doing throwing it backwards like that? To me, it looked like he threw it backwards.
It did, kind of.
But when they went back and they did the replay and they showed of course, the arm angle and this and that.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, the ball never did pass the 9-yard line. It
feel
stayed at the 9 the whole time. I don't know if it's just the way he moved his body and he turned his body when he threw it. It did. If I was a ref, I would have called it a fumble.
Right, and I think that was the hard part to, a lot of angles. It looked so, but when you looked at when it went up above, when it was the looking down, it 100%. I mean, it was like it could have been. It could have been.
It was like a little kid chasing a line, like it was so shaky staying on that line, but.
But it did.
Yeah. But, that's been, not just this game.
Right.
That's been a topic for, I feel like, the past couple years about the NFL being scripted. And can I just come out right now and say, stop.
Stop it.
Just stop. God. Are the refs bad? Yes. They 100%. Are horrible. And they are getting way more attention than a referee should ever get for a game. But it's not scripted.
And do you really want us to be honestly, are we going to be that? No. In those moments, I mean, it is tough to be a ref.
And, and analysts have said and players have said in the past, listen, when it happens on the field, it's like bam, bam.
It's different.
And you got to make your judgment call on it.
Yep.
Whereas, sitting here on the couch watching it, you have 16 different replays all in slow motion to know... Oh, well, shit, his toe wasn't in. Why did they call that a touchdown?
Of course, yeah.
But, I think we talked about during the game, I think refs call it a certain way now because there is the chance to review it.
Right.
So they're like, all right, if I mess this up, they can review it and we can fix it. Whereas before, refs used to be like, no, this is what I call it, that's what it is.
Yep. And that's why in that play, I was really shocked that they blew it dead, not letting them score a touchdown.
Yes.
And I feel, and I was talking to my brother-in-law about this, lately they have been just letting it play out and let them score. Because at that point, if it doesn't happen where you like reverse it, then you're screwing somebody out of a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Compared to just taking it away.
So had they let that play go, and you guys scored a touchdown on it, which is what would have happened, and then they reviewed it, and it came back, then okay, it's back.
Right.
But calling that play dead, and then to review it and have to overturn it, they would have given the Packers the ball at that spot.
Right, wherever that spot was, which would have been okay, but no, like
a point swing. No, it would have been a momentum swing. And the football's a big game momentum.
It is
big game momentum.
Yeah. But.
So, but the other thing with this game, Pittsburgh kind of got their running game going.
They did.
They've been talking about it. Yep, they got one of each.
One of each.
They did make a switch. There was a switch made.
They did.
That again, some genius said by the end of the year was probably going to happen.
Look at this guy, some humble pie, man.
I wanted this guy's autograph and frame it and hang it on my wall, but we'll get to. Maybe I'll get to a fan letter here or there. I don't know. But I think Pittsburgh handled it the right way, where it wasn't like this big hoopla, like, hey, we're going to make Warren our starter. Najee's going to. They still split the carries pretty decently, and I got them both in the end zone. Mm-hmm. But if you look at them, I think Warren had 18 carries and Najee had 16.
That's where you got to go.
You know, and Warren had 18 carries for 101 yards and a touchdown. Najee had like 16 for like 60 something in a touchdown.
Right.
So like you're getting more efficiency out of Warren. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you make him the running back one. Mm-hmm. Because you give him more snaps.
And I feel
but you don't make a big deal out of him being the RB1.
Right. It's not like this big, like, oh, this guy's getting benched, right? You have both of them in. And then it's kind of like almost like the Packers, right? We used to play this a lot where it's not as much this year. But before it used to be, if Dylan had the hot hand, we're going with Dylan.
Yep.
You know, if Jones has the high hand, we're going Jones. And I think this is where it's going to show in your guys' case. I think you guys done a pretty good job this year. But Warren, I feel like, deserves the number one spot. And I mean, he's a spark, man. He burst.
I don't want to see it happen, but the writing is on the wall for Najee's time in Pittsburgh to be coming to an end.
Yeah, unless if they can get like a short term deal or something like that.
Yeah, well, and as long as Najee's okay with being the bruiser, not
and that's
workhorse,
what he doesn't want to be, right?
You know, like I don't feel like he does. But the last 2 weeks, he's ran more north and south,
right?
And he's been getting better yardage. He's been
good.
Yeah. You know, he's still. I don't know what switch. I mean, I do know he started dancing and trying to get fancy, but his rookie year when he was the workhorse, when they gave it to him 90-some touches,
right?
You know, he north and south. Right. He had an amazing year, and then he's just. It seems like he's just trying to. I don't know. Dance around and get
maybe
fancy.
Like it's hard, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
and the Pittsburgh started talking. I feel like Pittsburgh started saying, okay, the coaching staff, Tomlin came out and said, listen, we want Najee his career to sustain. Mm-hmm. We're going to cut back his usage. And I feel like in Najee's head, he was like, okay, now I got to make the splash pay.
Yep.
I'm not going to have as many touches. I got to make those touches worth it. Yep. Whereas in the first year, he was like, I'm going to get all the touches. I'm on the field 3 out of 4 downs. I'm going to get the touches. So, like, I don't know if that was a switch or what it was, but they need, I think, Warren to spark Najee's motivation could be a good thing for them.
I think it would be good. I really do. Yeah. And as far as the Packers go, obviously, I think there was little expectation. I think this year, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but the expectation for the Packers is very minimal. I mean, it's growing pains, right? We talked about it like it's kind of last year where it's like tough. You know, you go through these things. I think we talked about this. One of the biggest things We need a possession receiver. I think it's really important for the Packers to kind of get that person. Watson, we talked about it on Sunday. It's like you're waiting for that one play for him to burst and get that touchdown, get that home run play. It didn't happen. Reed got it.
Yep.
Reed got the long touchdown. I think all the receivers are good. I think we need that one guy to be that, slot guy, get those quick possessions, get those small things. But honestly, like, all in all, Love's got to, get a couple things. That one play that was the Peterson, I felt like it was, just a hair off. Like, if he threw it just a little bit further. Honestly, it was a better defensive play.
Yeah, it was a great placed ball. It really was.
It was just Peterson was there.
Peterson, he just made it, and Neal was coming over for help, and
it works.
Right place, right time. Yeah. But I feel like the Packers used to have a bigger, more name offensive line than they do now.
Well, we got some injuries, right?
Yeah, and that's the other thing we talked about going into this game. Jair Alexander wasn't playing.
Right. Walker wasn't playing.
Or linebacker. And I feel like you had another DB out. Like, you had rookies in on your
Douglas
DBs.
got traded, right?
Oh, right. Yep, Douglas was gone. So your secondary wasn't at full strength.
Right.
Your whole defense wasn't at full strength.
Yep.
But, honestly, the Pittsburgh it won the game it was supposed to win. So, it was a good game, though. I was glad it was a good game.
Honestly, it came down. It came down to the seconds.
Right? Well, and that's the thing is Keanu Neal's interception should have sealed the game.
It should have.
That should have sealed the game. But Pittsburgh's offense came out and sputtered.
Yep.
They didn't run it. They tried to get cute and do a little pass, and it was incomplete. Stop the clock.
Yep.
Just need it was like one of those situations where if they just got one first down,
it would have been over.
They could have, And instead, they had a punt, and then I told you as soon as they punted, I was like, I don't know, man. There's still time on the clock, and then you got two medium-sized passing plays, and you were in position, and I was like,
it was right there.
Here we go. This is how Pittsburgh's going to do it.
Yeah.
This is how Pittsburgh, and then the pick at the end of the game. Yeah.
Who got that pick? Do you remember who it was? I don't remember who it was.
It was. I know you are. It was KZ.
Yeah.
KZ.
Yeah.
KZ.
Either way.
KZ.
Either way.
Number 23.
Okay, so
I got you.
Either way, big time defenses come up in big moments.
They do,
and I feel like 100% when the offense couldn't roll, the Steelers just got it done defensively, and they're a great defense.
They did, and they are 110% a defensive team.
Yeah,
and if that offense can even give half of what the defense does, we'll be okay. We'll be all right.
I think, honestly,
it would be nice if we start gaining some yards. Like I said, 9 games in, and we haven't outgained an opponent once.
Yeah.
But we're 6-3. First team in NFL history to do that.
Yeah.
And people are like, this is also the other thing I saw was, there were 3 teams that were outgained in all 9 games. 2 of them were 3-6. One was Pittsburgh at 6-3. And they're like, oh, the only difference is Mike Tomlin. And then a bunch of fans comment on it, and they're like, no, the only difference is TJ Watt. And I have to kind of side with the fans on this one, that it is the defense. It's not Tomlin's coaching.
I agree.
Although, as much as I hated Matt Cannon, I still don't like him as much. Bringing him down to the field as a last-ditch effort of saving the man's job, I don't want to see somebody get fired.
Right.
But it has made a difference. He's able to see the flow of the game different.
Right.
He's able to talk to people. Before it was just Kenny. Now he can talk to Pickens. He can talk to Johnson. He can talk to the offensive line.
Right. He
can talk to Warren and Najee and be like, what are you guys seeing? What aren't
Right.
There's a different feel. I do find it surprising that Buffalo fired their offense coordinator before Pittsburgh fired ours.
Mm-hmm.
But
we got to make the moves, So, because we could talk about our teams all day long.
Yep.
One team I think that was extremely impressive, and I know they played a really, really poor third string team, but Dallas looked offensively really good.
They did.
in one of the questions, and I saw a clip. Is CeeDee Lamb the best receiver in the league?
No.
No, I agree. I think.
Sorry, Mike. He's not.
I think he's great, and honestly, I have given Mike so much crap about CD not being this good.
Right.
He's been good.
He is. Dak too. We bust on Mike about Dak all the time. And listen, I do stand behind what I say most of the time with Dak.
Yeah.
He looked good this game, but like you said, he played against the Giants.
But in their defense, and I hate to do this because I hate defending, the Giants' defense has not looked bad this year. They've actually kept whatever was left of the Giants to be like halfway decent. But man, they rout. I mean,
Dallas owns the Giants, man. They've outscored. What was the score? Was 42-7 or something like that, right?
49, I think. 49. You got it?
Let's see. I got it here.
I thought it was 49-10 for some reason. I don't know. No, it was only 70, right?
Where'd they go?
Fact check. 49-10. That's my prediction.
Oh, 49-17. Sorry.
17.
49-17. So.
And that last touchdown was nothing.
So the Cowboys have outscored the Giants this year, 89-17. All right. So that's it. When Erin and I were watching the game, and she's a Cowboys fan,
right?
And I secretly cheer for the Cowboys. You know,
of course, yeah.
You know, I got to support
your wife.
Yeah, and my wife and my late father-in-law was a big Cowboys fan too.
Close best friend, you know. Like,
so
you know.
Yeah, and we have a special spot for Mike. So I like seeing them succeed. I like watching them fail too, just to kind of rub it into Mike.
The media,
but
so fun.
But in the back of my head, I'm like, oh man, I wish they could have won.
Right.
You know, even when I picked the other team to beat Dallas, I'm still like,
yeah.
It'd be awesome if they could pull this off. But I've always liked Braden Cooks.
Me too.
I've always liked him, and I'm so glad to see they finally got him involved.
Yeah.
I thought him going to Dallas would have been a huge thing. Would have added another great weapon for them, and I don't feel like they've used him this year.
I agree.
And then this week, and again, it's the
Giants,
the JV Giants out there,
the little Giants they call them.
Yeah, right. But Dak spread the ball around.
Yep.
They scored 6 different players scored a touchdown
which is
out of their 7, and the only one who double scored was CD.
Yeah.
And it was 1 receiving, 1 rushing.
Yeah, and got to give respect on the guy's name. We both don't think he's the best receiver. However, top 5, there's no question.
Right.
There's no question. He's okay.
Let's think about top 5. What do you mean top 5?
I would say it's hard. You know I'm a hype guy, right?
He might be.
I'm a hype guy.
He might be 5.
Let's go.
Let's see. Who's the number 1 in the league?
It's hard right now because Jefferson's out, but Jefferson, when healthy, probably would be number 1, right?
Right, yeah, I would try to go Jefferson.
Yeah, because he's on my team.
Yeah. There's a little trade we'll talk about. So Jefferson, Jamar Chase is pretty close to Jefferson, I would say.
So good, yeah.
Tyreek
Hill. And then you got to go A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown, I was thinking of. And then...
Cooper Kupp is probably not in the consideration this year because
I don't know. I might take him over CD, though. Who was the one I was just thinking of?
Devontae.
Adams.
It's been tough because he's...
It's somebody... You could make an argument... I think you could make an argument that CD could be in the top 5. You could... he's got stats. You could put him up there. But I think when push came to shove, he's more around the 7, 8, 9 mark.
You're going to upset Mike on this.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
You're going to upset because he's like...
But look at the league, though. Yeah. There are some good receivers out there.
Yeah. But if you put him...
There actually are a lot of teams he would easily be the number 1 on.
100%.
But there are a few teams where... look at the Dolphins. Look at the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Where does he go on the Dolphins?
Well, it's
1, 2, or 3. You got Hill, Waddle, and CD.
Yeah, Waddle hasn't been much this year. He's been okay. He's been hurt kind of deal. He would probably have to be 2.
I'm saying if they're all healthy, though.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. Hill is just different.
He would be...
a killer,
CD would be 1 on Pittsburgh. I'd take him over Johnson.
Oh, yeah. No, a lot of teams...
Pittsburgh.
A lot of team Packers, obviously...
It would be, Cincy, he wouldn't be number 1.
No, all those players. Vikings.
Vikings, he wouldn't be 1.
But I will say this, like, because AJ Brown definitely didn't get my vote until I had him in fantasy this year, and he's been doing so well.
I've liked him since he was on the Titans.
See, I didn't like him because I was like, nah.
Well, but when he got traded to the Eagles, I was like, Mike, dude, AJ Brown to the Eagles, and he was like, no, it's okay, I'm not wrong.
He's been destroyed ever since. Yeah. So
I mean, that's tough.
Yeah,
CD, I don't mind him being a top receiver, but I think it would be, again, sorry, Mike, I think it would be a stretch to put him at 5.
Oh, Diggs, too. Diggs is up there. I mean,
yeah, Diggs.
Diggs is up there.
Diggs is up there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this year, we'll see. Yeah. He's been on a good stretch. I mean, I think it's the past 3 games in the 150 plus.
Yeah, he's a really, really good receiver.
Yeah. Let's
get him to be a top 10 receiver in the NFL, though. I mean, that's
yeah. But you know what we need to do? We need to get CD the ball more. That's what we need to do. So get him the ball, and we'll see.
I mean, maybe not that much. You could go to Jake Ferguson a few more times. Or you could give it to CD all the way down the field and then throw it to Ferguson for a touchdown would be completely fine. But I mean the Cowboys looked good. And anyways, where I was going with that before I got sidetracked, when I was talking to Aaron about the game was the Cowboys really need to play the Giants every week.
Yeah.
They need to play the Giants every week because that's awesome. And there is no team. I mean, I know there are rivals and everybody. Green Bay, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. The Eagles and the Cowboys are pretty big rivals. There's nothing more than I see that drives me nuts than how much hatred Giants fans have for the Cowboys that they talk smack to them when the Eagles beat the Cowboys. Or when anybody beats the Cowboys, the Giants are running their mouth, and then they go out and get outscored 89-17.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the little brother syndrome, right? Where it's,
And maybe it's where we live. We see more Giants fans.
Right.
But I feel like it's wherever I was and there's a Giants fan and a Cowboys fan. The Giants fan would be talking so much trash and they wouldn't be producing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but I mean this week was definitely crazy. I mean there's a lot of upsets, a lot of teams that came out and I mean it's been interesting. A lot of we talk about the defensive teams, like they're the defenses have been crushing it. There was a little bit more offense this week, which was nice in fantasy wise.
Yeah.
We had obviously the Lions beating out the Chargers, but it was a shootout,
41-38.
Yeah. So I mean it was.
Last week we did some pick'ems.
Yeah.
So let's run down what we did last week. We'll start with the recap. Bears beat the Panthers. Colts beat the Patriots. Browns over the Ravens. Niners over the Jags. Bucks over the Titans. Josh Dobbs again. I feel like I'm obligated to mention his name a few times. Josh Dobbs again coming in and doing
what an amazing story. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I have scoured the internet right now, and I will get his jersey when I find it. Texans coming back against the Bengals and taking over the Bengals. The nail biter were the Lions and the Chargers. Cardinals, Kyler coming back.
Yes.
Over the Falcons. Seahawks over the Commanders. Big brother taking care of little brother. Cowboys taking the Giants. Raiders beating the Jets. The Broncos surprising the Bills on Monday. And then, of course, our game where
game of the week.
We win ugly, man. We just win ugly, and the Steelers beat the Packers. So, last week we had our man Cy on, and he talked with us about his thoughts on the pick'ems. And hey, definitely the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Mike and Simon both came in with a 5-9 record last week.
That's bad.
So, I mean, you did what you could. We understand you've been tutored by your dad. It shows, but we didn't do much better. You and I came in at 7-7.
Oh gosh.
The standings are tightening up a little bit. Because
it's hair. I went on a hot streak there at the beginning.
You did well, but we're chipping. We're slowly chipping away. Again, Mike is not here for family reasons. We will get his picks in I don't have him right now to announce him. We're giving him a little bit of leeway. However, our standings now stand at. I am still in last place at 81-69. Mike is in second place at 82-68. I'm coming back. I'm coming, man.
That's pretty good.
We're coming for you.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And Josh is still in the lead at 89-61. So you're out there. You're up. You're ahead of us, but you're not. You're not out of reach.
I'm not out of reach.
You just need to have one really bad week.
And I tell you what, it could happen.
It could.
It could be a week where I don't do any pickups.
Yeah, you know.
Guess what happens?
Yeah.
I get a big goose egg.
Well,
I think you guys gave me one because it was the Packers. So they're like, yeah, you probably pick the Packers.
There was another one where we were like, well, this would be a clean sweep without a doubt. So I think we gave you 2 games that week. But that was back when you were distracted. So
yeah.
You're not distracted anymore. So we'll move into this week's pickups now. This week we do not have any overseas games, so this is a normal week. But our Thursday night game should be a really good game and a tough nose game, like for real.
For real, I'm not sure who it is.
The Bengals versus the Ravens.
Ooh, okay. Man, this is tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Who's at home?
Ravens.
Okay. Wow. Both lost. Both teams.
Both teams did lose. Yep.
And
the Ravens are sitting at 7-3, and the Bengals are sitting at 5-4.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Okay.
And I think they need the win more than the Ravens.
All right. I as well. I'm going to go Bengals. And I'm just hoping and praying. That's all. No, I agree with your reasoning. I think the Bengals do need this more.
To stay in contention. I mean, they're 4th in their division at 5-4.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
It blows my mind.
So we'll go to the 1 o'clock games. We'll start with the other AFC North teams. And we have Pittsburgh going into Cleveland for round 2.
Dude, this is going into Cleveland.
Going into Cleveland for round 2.
I'm going to give it to the Steelers.
Okay.
They big news. Watson's out for the season.
Yes.
So that's a big hit for them. I saw that they're not going with PJ Walker.
No, they're going with the rookie.
They're going with the rookie, and I picked him up, and I don't even know his name. He has 2 last names.
Yes. It's like
something
Dorial Johnson, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't think he's going to do good.
He did all right before. He came in.
Yeah.
Walker got hurt or something, didn't he? And he
I picked him up. I don't think he's going to do good.
I mean, why not have another 3 quarterbacks on your...
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Or is that in your other league you picked him up?
No, in
our league?
Yeah, I think that 3rd quarterback. I have to feel that.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, okay. I am also going with the Steelers.
Shocker,
right? Shocker. Defensive battle, without a doubt. Defensive battle.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. So we'll.
What running game is gonna get there? That's the question.
Right. The last time they played, Nick Chubb went down.
Yeah.
So that was tough. We'll see if this is a revenge game for the Browns for that, or if the Steelers can, like you said, show up in the run game and have their defense show up. So we'll see.
Yeah.
The only thing that does make me nervous is our two of our middle linebackers are now out for the season.
Yeah, and Khalil. No, what was the Kawhi? What was the one guy that got hurt?
Neal?
No, not
Keanu Neal. Kelly Holcomb.
No, it wasn't him. I thought it was Kiwi something.
What?
I don't know.
The middle linebacker?
Yeah.
Quan Alexander.
Quan.
It's not Kiwi. Quan Alexander. All right. So then we go on to an NFC North battle of the 3-7 Bears going into Detroit to take on the 7-2 Lions.
All right, Lions. Let's just mark that up. I guarantee that's a clean sweep, but who knows?
I don't know. Mike could also go with them. He likes the Bears, and Fields is supposed to be back. So.
And you're going Lions.
I'm going Lions too. Yep. And then we have the Packers or the Chargers going into Green Bay.
Yeah, well,
this is a heartstring one for you, man.
But you know where I'm going with this. I tell you what, the Chargers have played, like, their offense has been playing really well. However, the Chargers seem to lose games that they should win. So I think this is going to be a sneaky win for the Packers. What do you think? I'm interested.
I'm going to ride with the Chargers on this one.
I don't blame you.
But and my reasoning is, I almost feel like the Chargers are sick of being picked on.
Yeah.
Like everybody's starting to be like, dude, they just don't want to win. They have the talent, but they're not. Yeah, right. and I got Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert on my fantasy team, so I have rooting interest for them to do well.
Right.
But I think it's going to be. This has a possibility to be a little bit of a shootout.
I hope so.
It has a possibility. I wouldn't mind since I just traded for Aaron Jones if he gets involved a little bit.
But, start him.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if I want to go with him or Warren.
Yeah.
Then we have the 5-5 Raiders going into Miami to take on the 6-3 Dolphins.
Dolphins.
All right, Dolphins it is, and I'm also going to go Dolphins. I don't think the Raiders are as good as their record says they are, and the Dolphins can only beat bad teams. So, then we have the 2-8 Giants going into Nation's capital and Commanders at 4-6.
I'm sorry. I have to do it for my mom. I'm gonna go Giants.
All right.
I mean, I feel like this could be it.
I'm going Commanders because it seems like they only play the AFC or NFC East well.
Yeah, makes sense.
Then we have the Cowboys sitting at 6-3, going into Carolina to play the 1-8 Panthers.
Trap game.
You might think so?
No. Cowboys.
Again, a team that likes to beat up on the bad kids. We'll see if Cooks gets involved again, and if CD can have another game like we had.
We might put a little respect on CD's name.
Yep.
We'll see.
Well, I'm also going with the Cowboys. And we'll give that one to Mike because you know damn well he's going with the Cowboys.
Well, yeah. There's your one, at least.
Then we got the Titans at 3-6 going into the Jags at 6-3. The Titans were one of the other teams that's been outgained by everybody. So there's the Titans. I want to see Titans, Rams, and Steelers.
Yeah, they're going to get outgained.
Yeah. So you got the Jags?
Jags. They're going to bounce back.
I'm going to go with you on this one. I think the Jags, too. But, I'm starting to remember a certain iconic run.
The 99?
99-yard stiff arm from Derrick Henry. Was that not against the Jags?
I don't remember.
I think that was against the Jags.
It would make sense, right?
And I would love for that to happen again.
That's funny.
Maybe I'll have to bench him. Now we have the Cardinals with the return of Kyler at 2-8, going into Houston to play the Texans at 5-4.
I feel like this is going to be a good game. I'm riding high, baby. Cardinals.
Yeah?
I'm riding.
It seems like the train has dropped me off at the bandwagon station and has picked you up. Because I am going with the Texans on this one. I might be a Texans bandwagoner now.
Yeah.
I think they're playing well. Stroud is just about locked up Rookie of the Year, I think.
I feel like this is going to be a shootout.
It could be. It very well could be.
Kyler coming back. It's he looked good. He didn't look great.
Right.
I think this might be good. This might be a good one.
There was also another return on the Cardinals that we just kind of glazed right over.
Conner.
James Conner came back too. So
we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, so our next game is our first 4:00 game. Tampa Bay traveling into San Francisco.
Yep, San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean,
we probably should just put that for Mike too, because
yeah, probably will. We'll give him that one.
We'll give him that one
because they seem to be getting healthy and clicking again, and it's going to be scary.
And like we talked about, that boy Williams, Trent Williams, he is a bad boy.
He is.
He is. They had a clip. He goes, "I've never seen a guy run away from me when he's running up the field." Did you see that?
No.
I have to show you. It's they do their normal where he kicks out and runs in front of the receiver or the running back.
Yeah, where he's pulling.
And the Jags player does like one of these. I have to show you. It's so funny. Yeah.
I hope you shared it with Tommy. Then the next game is the game we were talking about earlier. The 4-5 Jets going into Buffalo to play the 5-5 Bills.
Yeah, I can't. I'm going to go Buffalo. I can't. I don't think the Jets.
Yeah, Zach Wilson doesn't have anything. I'm not impressed by him, and I think the Bills they got some pissed off people in that locker room.
Yeah, for sure.
Then our next game, the 4:30 game, is Seahawks going into LA against the Rams.
Seahawks have did they win They won last week, right?
I think they were one of the field goal teams last week.
Okay. I felt like they were kind of on a high level. I'm gonna go with Rams. I feel like this might be a sneaky divisional win. I don't know.
Okay. The Seahawks they beat the Commanders with a field goal.
Right.
Yeah, the Rams are a sneaky team, and I really would like to pick them, but I was talking to one of the kids at work today who's a Seahawks fan, and I'm like, how do you guys keep winning? And he looked at me and said, how do you guys keep winning?
Yeah,
they're another one of those teams where like I don't know how they're as good as they are, but I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna think the Seahawks take this game. I don't know. I want the Rams to do well, but I don't know that they will.
Yeah.
This actually, the Sunday night game started off as like a snooze fest, boring, nothing intriguing about this game until lately. Now you got my man Josh Dobbs taking control of the Vikings, and they're traveling into Denver to go against. They're a hot team right now.
They won 3 straight against good teams.
Yeah, well, some of them are good teams. So you got the Vikings going into Denver for Sunday night. Where are you going on this one? I think I know where you're going.
I'm gonna go Vikings.
Are you?
You know, I'm having a little soft spot for Dobbs.
Okay.
I'm having a little soft spot, man. And you're crushing me with these Vikings. And Dobbs is like, but I tell you, how do you root against them?
Right. I mean, how do you root against them?
Yeah, I don't like the Vikings by any means. I finally have one player. I don't know how many times, but Jefferson is now on my team. I'm hoping he does well. That doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah,
but
he's not playing this week, though.
We'll see.
He's not playing this week.
But if he does, great. If not, I still think that Dobbs, man, he's looking good. And fantasy, he's looking good.
There you go, man. Yeah. Put some respect on the man's name,
and
Josh Dobbs.
You have helped with that.
Yes, so. And I'm going to keep riding with that Dobbs train. As I said, I am looking for a Dobbs jersey. Christmas is just right around the corner, guys, or whatever you want to say. I'm going to ride with the Vikings, too. I feel as though
excuse me,
I should write down the Broncos for Mike. I'm not going to. I will wait and see what he says. But we know he has a soft spot for the Broncos.
He does.
And it seems like ever since that Green Bay game, when he picked the Broncos and he let us know that his late stepdad was a Broncos fan, they've kind of been on a roll since then.
And you know what's funny is we talked about right in that time period of the Green Bay game was the trade deadline. Yeah. Right? Or maybe after a little bit, maybe they won and then it was trade. I forgot when it was.
It was right after the Green Bay game.
After. Okay, so right after. And we were like, should they sell?
Yeah.
And I'm like, sell.
Yeah.
Sell everything, right?
Yep.
You're sell.
Yep.
Everything. Mike, probably he's keep whatever. Dude, they've been competitive at least.
They've been doing well. So I'll have to wait and see what he says, but I think I have a feeling he's going to be Broncos on that one.
Yeah.
And then the game of the week is Monday night.
Okay.
The rematch of the Kelsey Bowl Super Bowl. We have the Eagles traveling into Kansas City to go against the Chiefs.
Man, this is so hard. This is tough. Because at one point I want to pick the Chiefs because they're home. I feel like I don't know if they're the better team because, their offense has been kind of weird. But it's like a little bit of a revenge game for the Eagles.
Okay.
Eagles.
You're going Eagles.
I'm going to go Eagles.
Okay.
I don't want to, but I'm going Eagles.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And it's I don't think you can go wrong with a pick here.
However,
you're wrong.
Is there any personal team reasoning behind this?
There is not a personal team reasoning. As much as I would love to see Mahomes light it up,
okay,
Obviously, I just traded for him from you, and everything would be great. I don't expect him to light it up. Fantasy-wise, the Eagles are one of the worst pass defenses. Okay. So there's a chance he could. However, I'm spinning this in the national spotlight view.
Okay.
Where this is a big primetime game. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot of cameras there.
Yep.
And you know who loves cameras? Miss Tay Swift herself.
So
she loves cameras, man.
Are we gonna have Mama Kels there? Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Papa Kels.
Obviously.
And then, do you think Kylie's gonna have a presence in the box?
I think she deserves one.
She deserves.
You know what? I like her.
I love her.
I think she's a good-looking lady too.
She's a very beautiful one, and I tell you, she is so witty. Yeah. Which is so much fun.
And I don't know if I don't think I brought this up in our past two podcasts, but I did listen on the way down to Pittsburgh to their podcast, and Jason Kelce brought up lacrosse, and how he used to play lacrosse, and how excited the Kelce brothers are that lacrosse is in the Olympics.
Yep.
So it really makes me want to be able to go with Jason Kelce. However, Travis Kelce is a different player.
He's a beast.
When Taylor Swift is there.
He's got it. She performs and she kills it, right?
Right.
And he's there, right?
He's Karma.
And so
that guy who plays on the Chiefs.
You heard it. You heard it. You were there. You probably were there.
As a matter of fact, I am the one that videotaped that and put it on social media. Travis Kelce's going to have a big game, which means Patrick Mahomes is going to have a big game, and I think they squeak by the Eagles.
It's going to be a good game.
I think it'll be...
This will be the...
Super Bowl, again, like it was last year. I think they'll just...
The Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Can I say I want to put this on paper?
Okay.
On right now, I think that this is going to be the most watched Super Bowl... Or, I'm sorry, the most watched game in history. That is going to be my prediction because of the Taylor Swift, because of the rivalry, because of everything involved. These guys are exploding. It's a perfect time to do it. NFL is in amazing shape. Like, they are in the best. They are prime time NFL.
Yes, and the NFL owes so much gratitude for what they are getting to these two brothers.
That's true, 100%.
They are great ambassadors for the game.
Huge ambassadors.
Huge.
Can't ask for two better guys.
They're funny.
Yep.
They don't take
sexiest men.
Right. The bearded dream that he is. Then Travis being able to get Taylor and the crossover.
And they don't take things very they're pretty light, right? They're pretty fun guys.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they take it. They take their football serious.
Correct. Yeah.
And they got trucker mouths.
They do.
They
sword jar.
But they also have that family side of them.
They do.
Where you see Jason's kids come on the podcast and say, "What's up, Uncle Travie?"
Yep.
And he melts.
Yep.
That's his nieces. He melts.
Yeah.
So it's a good ambassador for them. I think the NFL is very smart and the right move to attach themselves to the Kelce brand as much as they can.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I am becoming more of a Swiftie day by day. So thank you, Travis. So it's the opposite. It's the opposite for me, and I'm giving all the credit to Travis.
I gotta admit, I'm not on that bandwagon. I'm not a Swiftie. However, Ella is a Swiftie at heart. Yep. She's starting to recognize more and more Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah.
My niece, Sophia, is a diehard Swiftie. She had a Taylor Swift birthday party this year. She dressed as Taylor Swift for Halloween this year. She is full-blown Swiftie. And her brother Anthony is now really big into football too, so
naturally
it's a good combination.
The pairing is beautiful.
Yeah, so I am not a Swiftie, but I would be an adopted Swiftie for a weekend if Ella ever wanted to go to a concert or something.
Yeah,
I would be an adopted Swiftie. So
I feel you.
But yeah, I mean, we got some good games on the slate this week.
I'm excited about this week.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good games.
It should be good games. It should be interesting to see if we can sort out, some more pretenders and contenders.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about.
Yep. And then the AFC North looks like it could kind of shake up a little bit this week.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
So,
and I'm honestly hoping our both predictions come true because it would make it crazy if it did. So,
yeah. So, all right. So for another week in the books, that's 2 guys, one Mike. We love you, bud.
Love you, bro. Peace.